Can you tell us a good story about May, Ray, and Dixon Ward? I loved watching you guys all play back in the day. Even though we were Canucks fans, you guys were fucking entertaining to watch. That's for sure.
Yeah, all three guys, great guy. Dixon Ward was very underrated. His son's doing great at Nebraska Omaha. Great little player. Played under him over all the years. Taylor's a great player, and I follow all these guys. Dixon, like I said, very underrated. Played on a great line with Vaclav Verata and Mike Pekka. Was big and instrumental on our teams. Why we had success, big reason was those guys. They did an amazing job of checking and pursuing, also scoring. But he's underrated talent, really underrated talented guy. Great passer, great penalty killer. Was a very big part of our team. Rob, one of the toughest guys I've ever seen in my life. I played with him 7 years, seen him fight all the heavies. Haven't seen him lose too many fights. Maybe saw him lose 4 or 5 in the amount of times that he fought Tony Twist, George LaRock. But like when you talk about the amount of guys that he fought, and I fought him so many times in practice and training camps and watching him, all the respect. Like he's a great dude, super tough, would stand up for everyone. And Brad May is one of my best friends in the world. He's either going to fucking knock you out or he's going to get knocked out.
Yeah,
that's the way he lives. And he's a great dude. He's a great family guy. I just love all those guys because I know what which one of those guys, Rob, Brad, and Dixon, had to do to get to the NHL and stay there and stay on top and do what they do and the people that they are, not only for the NHL and hockey, but for charity in general. I know all those guys do more post-career than probably we even envisioned in doing in our life in the NHL. Like, it's such a small scale, right? Like, you play in the NHL for 8 or 10 years or 15 years, whatever the number is. And you're retired 35 years old and you're like, oh, fuck, now what do I do? Now do I watch those guys and what they do post-career makes me even more proud because they're great guys.
Yeah, and we had Dixon Ward on a couple weeks ago as well. And then Brad May, of course, he's great. He tells tons of stories. We meet him at the Hockey Fights Homeless out here, and we go to the events and all the alumni events. And
he's a fucking beauty. He's a beauty, and what a guy! What a guy to crush a beer with. I mean, you could sit there for hours and listen to those stories.
He's too fat. He doesn't drink beer anymore. He drinks tequila.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, he was having beers that day at the Hockey Fights Homeless event. If you could sit down for dinner with somebody else famous, who would it be?
Wow, that's a tough one to throw on me.
Have you ever met Tiger and Michael Jordan?
No. That's a great question. I've never been. So I've never been enthralled by other sports figures.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Sport. Yeah. Doesn't have to be sport.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I always
I would say Tiger. Tiger is my favorite athlete of all time.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say Tiger just from a sports point of view. I've had dinner with Michael, great guy, awesome to be around. Tiger, I guess I'm not that guy. I'd rather hang out with you guys or my buddies, and I'd rather have 20 guys around a bonfire or play golf and drop the ball down and play. That's just me. I don't get enthralled with athletes or politicians or that's just me. I'd rather fucking drop a bottle of vodka and fucking 90 beers and a bonfire and let's play golf and we'll have a great time.
Yeah, it sounds like our weekend. Sounds like our weekend over here as well. My answer to that one is always usually Seth Rogen or Hulk Hogan, but
yeah,
because I like to smoke one with Seth Rogen and sit there and listen to his stories.
I've never done a drug.
No, never?
Never. Everyone always says, oh my God, you have to. You're fucking crazy. You have to have done cocaine or this. I'm like, I've never, I love Coors Light. I love vodka. But I've never done a drug. So now that it's legal, I should fucking roll one up and let's roll.
Roll. Darren McCarty's got enough for the whole NHL.
I love D-Mac. Hey, he cut me out for 28 stitches.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, well, go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, taking back to your first goal and your first fight in the NHL, you still got the puck?
My puck is with my brother.
Okay.
I gave it to my brother when I scored my first NHL goal, and they framed it. So I gave it to them, and he has it in his house. I have one thing of my own hung in my house, and that's the 100th goal puck over to the other side. I'm just not vain that way. I don't hang any of my own shit. I like my kid's stuff. My kid's a player, and I hang his stuff. But no, I don't have any of my own shit fucking hung. It's all in boxes in the back. I got everyone's fucking shit hung except for mine.
Yeah, that was Kelly. Rudy was saying that how he had the whole C-SPAN container full of stuff that he hasn't been into in years, and he was just wishing his daughters might give it away one day.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Like you become so consumed about yourself when you're playing. You wanna do so much, and you're proud of all your shit, and then you retire, and you're like, okay, now I have my son's 22, he's a hockey player, my daughter's 19, and I'm like, fuck, I love Wayne Gretzky, I love Tiger Woods, and I'm like, fuck, my girlfriend asks me all the time, she goes, why don't we hang this shit of yours? We have jerseys. And I'm like, I'm not taking Wayne Gretzky's down. I can tell you that. I'm not taking Tiger's down. Like, whatever. So I have this stuff that hopefully my kids will hang in their house at some time. I'll probably be long gone, but I don't hang any of my own shit.
Okay.
Mike?
You got to play for a couple teams in your career. Do any stick out more than the other?
I take good and bad from everyone. I love Buffalo. I was a young kid, right? 19 years old, 20 years old, turning pro. Great fan base. Go to Pittsburgh. Unbelievable. I go to Tampa Bay. I'm with John Tortorella. He doesn't like me as a player, not as a person. He's a great guy. I think he wears on people as a coach, but I go to New York, fucking loved it there. Yeah. So my first 3 out of 4 years, I played in Buffalo, Pittsburgh, New York. Like, I was spoiled. Like, I unbelievable. Like, how can you complain? It was awesome. Making good money, playing awesome fan bases. It was incredible. I have to have a shout out though. Playing in Colorado was incredible. Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, Paul Kariya. My roommate was Timo Solani, Rob Blake. Like, how awesome as you're getting a little older into your career. So I was very fortunate. All places are awesome. Great time everywhere, but those 4 were pretty incredible.
In New York, did you play with Pavel Bure or Theo Fleury?
Play with both of them.
Yeah, I thought so, right?
Theo probably wouldn't have remembered playing with me. He was a little fucked up then. He was a little fucked up then. Pavel was awesome. My roommate was Eric Lindros.
Yeah.
Yager was there. I mean, Brian Leach, Mark Messier was my center. Peter Nedved. Like, I can go on and on. The Hall of Famers that I played with on that team. We just had too many cooks in the kitchen. Spent money in the wrong places. Bobby Holik, absolutely loved. It was a great time in my life. We just didn't have success, which is sad because we had great guys and great talent. That's the saddest part of playing in New York is we were really good, really, really good, and great guys.